Welcome back to the Fate of Drakkenheim. This is the Dungeon Dudes Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition actual play campaign. My name is Monty Martin, running our game as Dungeon Master.
And I'm Kelly McLaughlin, playing Sebastian Crow, the half-elf shadow sorcerer, and Wilhelm von Kessel, the human swashbuckler rogue. And we're joined today by our good friends.
Jill Denitis, playing Veosenia, the Tabaxi Gloomstalker Ranger Rogue, and Rudy Whitaker, the Shifter Eldritch Knight.
And Joe O'Gorman, playing Wrath, the Azamar Warlock, and Pluto Jackson, the Human Battlemaster.
Thanks for joining us once again. We're the Dungeon Dudes. Kelly and I post new content over on our YouTube channel right here, which you should subscribe to, so that you never miss any of our great content, whether that's our guides for D&D and tabletop role-playing games, or more episodes of this very show. So be sure to smash that subscribe button. With that, let us return to Drakkenheim.
Drakkenheim is no more. The devastation which fell upon that accursed place left a kingdom in ruin. Now, horrors lurking in the haze grow ever more great and terrible, while simmering tensions between rival factions boil over into outright war. The power of monarchs, mages, and priests hangs in the balance. 6 unlikely heroes join forces to confront the coming chaos. They shall decide, once and for all, the fate of Drakkenheim.
Several days have passed since the resurrection of Argonath and the negotiations in the Inscrutable Tower between Wilhelm and Ryan Greymere. Camp Dawn has been busy of late as the soldiers and our heroes prepare for what is certainly to be the biggest operation that their forces have conducted yet. Your characters have been in and out of planning meetings for several days with Eldrick Runeweaver, Elias Drexel, even more correspondence with Ryan Greymere, Johann Eisner, conversations with Knight Captain Gloria Hackfield and Ophelia Reed, putting together a plan for how you are going to tackle your final objective, the crater. The mission is to destroy the Delirium Heart. Elias Drexel, over these meetings, summarizes some of the problems that are on the table. The crater represents the most heavily contaminated region in Drakkenheim. Merely stepping into the thick fog of the haze near the crater is a higher level of exposure to contamination than what most of our soldiers can survive. But once you get to the edge of the crater, the erratic magic and the deep contamination induces monstrous transformations in all but our most strong-willed and sturdiest soldiers within minutes. For in the crater, you basically are making saving throws against contamination every round. Well, as you get close, deeper within, or at least every minute. So for your average person who has a +2 con mod, and that's a strong soldier, they got maybe 5 to 10 minutes in the crater before they undergo a monstrous transformation. Because they rarely even succeed a single save against the level of contamination there. And that's assuming that necrotic damage doesn't just kill them, in which case they often do mutate anyways and become monsters. Because of this, we can't send an assault force to accompany you into the crater. The Amethyst Academy and the Faith have provided us with as many resources and protections as they can offer to outfit you all as a strike team. These include suits of Hazewalker armor, which are tailored for the type of armor you'd like to wear. You have a purging rod. You also have Aqua Expurgo, but Elias Drexel notes these are last resorts. If in the crater, if you are at the point where Aqua Expurgo, if you've been exposed to so much, you'll be exposed to so much contamination that you'll be incapacitated quickly by the Aqua Expurgo, and the exhaustion that the purging rod will leave you with is too dangerous. Which is why Ophelia Reed says, this is why the relics of Saint Vitruvia will be very important. You are capable of casting the heal spell with it. The heal spell fully removes all contamination and all mutations on whoever it's cast upon.
So if we're losing somebody.
I want to ask then similarly, Greater Restoration, does it have any effect on contamination?
Sadly, it does not.
Okay.
It's got to
Good
be
enough.
the heal spell.
I guess we should also be working under the assumption that both the dragons can be contaminated.
Well, as that problem is being discussed, it is then when several large crates emerge with the order of the Hazewalker plate. And suits of plated armor built for dragons
Oh, God.
Whoa.
arrives
Go.
from the Academy
We're doing it.
to outfit Argonath and Minazorond.
Are they like, okay, so the whole thing with Hazewalker plate is that it's like sealed.
So it's like the dragons, of course, their exteriors are almost like sealed shells.
Right.
So it's more like barding and a helmet for the dragons, but the helmets have been built with nozzles for their breath weapons.
Oh my god.
It's like it goes and then it shoots.
Yeah.
out. And as long as we keep the pressure, like a negative pressure
Yeah.
flow, it's fine. No, nothing gets in.
Yeah.
It's like a
very
a
scientific.
helmet where it like comes up.
It's also worth noting that the dragons themselves do have absurd constitution modifiers, and so they're pretty good at making the saves as it is.
And what about Nexus Prime?
Nexus Prime is not immune to contamination either. No constructs are. So Nexus Prime is similarly can be contaminated,
Right.
right?
Does it have stats? Like, does it have a constitution score?
It has ridiculous stats.
Good, great.
Yeah. And so, yeah, because you've basically got an ancient gold, an ancient bronze dragon, and Nexus Prime is effectively going to use the stats of a colossus. Yeah.
Is it possible?
You've also been taught the spell Contamination Immunity,
Contamination.
which is a 7th level spell that Sebastian and Wrath can cast.
I might cast that on myself as Wrath.
And of course, Sebastian and Wrath also in a neutralizing field.
And we also all have Hazewalker plate as well.
Correct.
Which
Well-
I like to imagine that when you go into the crater in Hazewalker plate, it looks like you're wearing a spacesuit on an alien planet. That's how I
But
like to
can you
picture it.
wear it and still do magic?
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as you're proficient, right?
Well, so my understanding is the Hazewalker plate is custom fitted for each person.
Effectively, the version of
You can use
Hazewalker
that,
plate that there's a version of Hazewalker plate that offers no AC bonus
Okay.
that we're brewing up now that a character that isn't proficient in light armor isn't proficient in any kind of armor can wear. So it offers no armor protection, but it still offers the protection against the haze.
Okay.
Is it safe
Think it-
to assume that we all just leave our ACs the same, but
Yes.
Well, actually,
get-
that was my question. So would it? Because like the chainmail I have on now is like pretty crazy. It's like a +3.
So conceivably, if you don't want to wear Hazewalker plate,
Yeah.
then it would be, do you want to plan on having contamination immunity cast on you?
oh, because we would have to remove our armor.
Yes.
Like you're wearing, because I'm assuming that the Hazewalker plate comes with this really cool benefit, but it probably doesn't have a bonus to
No.
AC.
No.
Like so I might, as Wrath, use my 7th level spell slot to cast the immunity on myself.
because you're wearing some crazy armor.
And then I walk in wearing nothing, which makes me look really cool. Well, your guys all wearing spacesuits, and I'm wearing nothing. And they go, "What's for the
Ophelia Reed will also provide all your characters with Hero's Feast and Aid spells prior to what you're doing, and the Academy can also give you each 2 potions of superior healing, and you may choose a potion of resistance of any damage type you wish. Each.
So potion of resistance and...
But you got to choose the damage type now.
I mean, necrotic sounds pretty safe.
Yeah.
Psychic is also probably fairly safe.
Both good choices. Now, your allies have several questions for you all as a group about what you would like everyone to do.
Okay.
First of all, Eldrick and River would like to know, is there anything else that you need advice on with regarding to what you might encounter in that crater, in terms of the magic you might be exposed to, or what you might need to expect to destroy this thing? Do you have any questions for us? Again, we don't know everything for sure, but now's your opportunity, because we won't even be able to talk with you telepathically. The haze will block that. We won't be able to watch you with scrying magic. We won't know what happens in there. And the problem with the deep haze there is that it's even going to distort your perception of time. It might feel like you were there for days or weeks or hours, and you're only there for minutes out here. We just don't know.
1 hour in the crater is 4 years on Earth?
Well, question then. If we're relying on magic that has time into it, have you any knowledge on how that balances with our perception versus how much the magic's actually costing in time?
Can you be a bit more specific? It's the effect of time on it will feel like time is passing faster or slower for you in the crater than it actually is outside. But that will only be a local perception amongst all of you that are experiencing together.
So I'm thinking, if something's a spell or a potion's supposed to last for an hour, does it last for the actual amount of time or the time we're perceiving it as?
It will likely last based on your perception.
Something to keep in mind.
True.
Um,
And to be clear, we cannot take a long rest while we're in there.
I don't think we can take a long rest anywhere in the city.
You will not, unless you have the means to.
The mansion?
Greymere said that a magnificent mansion spell could be used to create a safe space, a safe pocket.
I could wish for one. Do we have a scroll of Magnificent Mansion?
No, you would need to use the wish spell for that.
Actually, that brings
What
up
level
a
is that spell?
7?
Yeah.
Can you put it in your ring?
If you don't know it, no, it's too big for a ring.
So, because theoretically, you could do the mansion, have a long rest, get your wish spell back.
I do have a question actually that this brings up. Eldrick, since you're so well versed in magic, I have access to the wish spell. Do you have any great suggestions for spells that I should keep in mind to maybe be able to mimic in a pinch? I don't know what we're gonna face in there, but I've been reading over my mom's spell book, and there's a lot. And so I'm trying to keep in mind a few options. Protection from good and evil seems kind of cool.
Incidentally, I don't think Kat gave you that back.
My spell book.
Yeah, I think she took it, and it's like where that is.
I've been reading over the handwritten notes that I took from my mom's spell book, and most of them are just scribbles and drawings of cats. And why are they drawing of cats?
Yeah, and
Is there any spell you can use to bring?
and actually, probably the mirror is still
My mirror.
was left behind too.
Yeah.
She took. Wait, who has my mirror?
You left it at Penumbra's facility.
My mirror. Oh no. There's a demon portal left at Penumbra's facility. I forgot about that.
Whoops.
Anyway, good spells?
Obviously, a spell of such power, should one of you fall, it can be used to bring you back to life.
A resurrection?
One of the other things that I would remind you is that I expect that that spell is one of the few ways to undo a monstrous transformation.
True.
But by mimicking the effects of a heal spell, if you still need even more, that would be another way. It would be expensive, but if you used a wish spell to mimic heal or resurrection, you could twin it by spending 9 sorcery points.
Good to know, yeah. Good points. That probably is a good enough list. I should probably actually save wish for those emergency buttons. It's probably... Raph, you listening?
Yeah.
We went over our inventory.
We have a Scroll of Meteor Swarm.
Yep.
I'm not going to lie to you guys. That's a valuable spell. I don't think we should use it to damage the heart.
No. We should use it to fight off whatever comes at us.
Damage the...
Yeah, I think that is our emergency. We need to blow up everything in the vicinity button. But let's all be aware of the button.
That said, the spell of that kind of power would be sufficient to damage the heart.
Yeah.
So maybe when there's a bunch of stuff on the field.
What's the
drop that
range?
bad boy.
What's the range on that?
It's pretty crazy.
It unfortunately, the most pertinent issue is that the thickness of the deep haze will severely limit your visibility, and it's possible that even the delirium heart, you might not be able to be. That's another limiting factor for damaging it, is that the visibility quickly diminishes and space itself is warped within the crater. So if you can't see the delirium heart, even if you're aiming something towards where you think it is, the distortion of time and space that is in effect there means that you won't be able to tell if you've successfully landed your attack. So I would recommend that if you are using something that is a limited resource like that, don't utilize it unless you know that it's going to land.
We also have a scroll of shape change, which is sort of like true polymorph.
Yes.
Okay.
It will necessitate, however, from what Greymere explains to us of her calculations, the breath weapon of an ancient dragon is needed to damage the delirium heart. So if you can shape change into a dragon but not an ancient dragon, it's not enough to damage it.
Okay.
I don't know if any of these are useful, but I'm just we have a few Sunbeams, True Seeing, Greater Restoration, Conjure Celestial.
So Sunbeam is a 6th level spell. It can damage the heart.
I have Anti-Magic Field.
6 and up?
If I put an Anti-Magic Field around the Delirium Heart, does that reduce arcane anomalies coming off of
From
it?
your description of the delirium heart, it is too large to be fully enveloped by the spell, an anti-magic field that you would be able to cast.
I have 2 Scrolls of Healing. Just
Keep those.
Yeah.
of heal, specifically.
Yeah. That's a good one.
So that's helpful.
I would not recommend using Lightning Bolt around delirium. Just personal experience.
No, and I do have Bless. I have Greater Invisibility, Mage Armor, Bloodworm, and Invigorate.
We expect that, again, Greymere, myself, and River, from, again, what you've described, a spell of 5th level or less,
Yeah.
or cantrips
But
will
those, it's
simply
still good
not
to know.
be enough to harm it.
What about anything that's going to get us through at speed?
I mean, we have 2 people on dragons.
Elias Drexel
But what about the
chimes
rest?
in. There are terrible monsters in the crater. There are massive worms and grotesque gargantuan giants. All manner of eldritch elementals and other abominations. If you go in that crater with giant robot and 2 dragons, everything that dwells there will rampage towards you.
And this is where I think I have a plan. We cannot bring our forces into the crater. But we can create a distraction at the edge of the crater. that draws the monsters out, clearing a path for us to get through. Obviously, we will still be facing tremendous odds in the crater, but the group on the ground, there'll be one of us in a giant robot, 2 of us on dragons, and 3 people on the ground.
I got an idea to build on that.
Yes.
Can we polymorph the dragons and the robot and some small, stealth it in, change it back when we're in there?
Potentially.
If
Like,
they're
what
gonna
about-
if they're gonna be the ones, the giant pieces we're bringing in, be the ones drawing the attention, could we?
That is contingent on if you think that certainly seems like a solid plan, provided you're not equally concerned about your own using them as a resource as you travel to the crater itself.
That's the question.
And that is hard to decide because we don't know what odds we're up against. If we have,
How hard is it to undo polymorph?
I mean, we just need to, if we turn them into like a snail or something, we just,
Bringing them along, yeah,
and they're back.
and then boom, they're there.
But then if we end up doing that immediately, then we have wasted, I guess we could twin, it would be 2 4th level spells.
That said, Nexus Prime has the immutable form trait, so it can't be polymorphed.
Right. So the dragons could be, but we still have
Yeah.
a giant robot.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I'm just, will we want them to fight the giants and all of that?
We might,
We
but
might.
we might not just get hit right off the bat. We'll be able to get in a bit further. You're right. Distract, bring some to the edge, but as we're going in,
If we can bring some of the worms and the giants to the edge where all of our troops are waiting, drawing them out of the deep haze and into combat with our forces, that's going to help clear a path.
Okay, what about, hear me out,
This is
seeming? You make the giant dragon appear 1 foot smaller, but you make it look like a giant worm. Worms don't attack each other.
Are you sure?
I said confidently.
that seems risky, but it could be worth trying. That said, I have asked von Baden if we could position their artillery on the edge of the crater and just start firing with impunity in to draw out whatever might be there.
Obviously, without hitting us as we venture in.
well,
We
go
would wait until creatures begin attacking
Right.
before you would go in.
maybe around a different side
True.
because they're being drawn over.
I mean, that sounds like a good plan, whether we go with the seeming or the polymorph.
Give it to mix them.
Or if we do, like, I guess that's the final decision. Either way, I think we're set on a perimeter on the outskirts of the crater. Obviously, we can't get, we have a very large army here.
How long can they survive in the deep haze?
I think that we take those who are like the hooded lanterns and a few of the Silver Order. They're more equipped to deal with that. The armies of Westamar and the mercenaries, I think that they form a perimeter on the outskirts of the city and start moving in, slaughtering monsters on the way. Anything that's coming out of the city during this final push, we have 2 perimeters, one by the crater, one at the outskirts of the city, slaughtering their way in. We're
Very well.
purging this whole place of monsters.
And then we will relieve the remaining force at Camp Dawn as a reserve.
Now,
So
the question I guess that we need to answer. We have 3 ideas. And I don't know which one is right. I am concerned that we may want the dragons for, and the big robot's going to draw attention anyway. That being said, I'm willing to talk about polymorphing them or the seeming idea.
my biggest thought behind polymorph would be, again, them not drawing attention as we're going in, but if there's a stealthy way to get them through, once we get to a point where we need them, like I said, the snails, crush them like snails.
But is there an issue with us having Nexus Prime
That's the question. I
still
guess.
there?
That's one big thing instead of 3.
Yep.
Unless the dragons can fly Nexus Prime in. I don't know how big it is.
Oh, can they like airdrop Nexus Prime?
No.
No. Okay.
Good question. I guess the upside of us using something like seeming or polymorph is that we might be able to get quickly into the crater.
Indeed, and even the storms over the crater will mean you'll be largely grounded. There's bolts of lightning that arc across the crater that unfortunately 2 metallic dragons will not do well with.
So we're going to be flying low.
Mm-hmm.
Very well.
Is there anything else we should know about the robot mech? Nexus Prime?
There is...
That can or cannot be done
right.
to it.
Can you be a little more specific?
So it can't be changed in shape?
Yes, it has an immutable form. It is resistant to many forms of damage and many other conditions.
What is its artillery looking like?
It basically has an eradication beam that is on a recharge similar to a breath weapon that does a ton of force damage and disintegrates stuff.
And beyond that, it has a big sword?
And beyond that, it has giant smashy fists.
Okay.
Fists. And run by a single person?
Pilot. Yeah.
One pilot.
So this is also something that I think that we need to address in this meeting. In my meeting with Ryan Graymere, Wrath and Rudy, you were there. The way I see it, it is the most optimal device to land the final blow is one of the dragons or Nexus Prime. We don't know yet who's piloting Nexus Prime, and whoever lands that final blow is putting themselves at... I mean, we just have to assume the worst. We have to assume there's a possibility that they survive. I want to say that, but we have to go in there with the assumption that somebody needs to make the sacrifice play. I don't expect... Pluto, Rudy, I don't expect either of you to offer that. And so I will put myself in that position if that is what must happen.
Your Majesty, that's unacceptable.
I agree.
Then you're asking me to...
Yeah, you can't do it. What makes sense is if someone were to go in, maybe someone like Argonath.
Can't one of the dragons are certainly... They are at your command. They would... It's unfortunate to sacrifice them, but as far as can't the Nexus Prime be given at least one autonomous command? Eldritch Runeweaver says, likely yes. It doesn't necessarily have to be one of you, but it will need to be one of the 3 creatures.
Oh.
Well, what we can say is at least I can pilot a big robot.
I mean, it's basically just an extension of yourself.
But we're not going to know who has the opportunity to land that final until we get there. We are going to have to make some game day decisions.
And that is also assuming that the retreat can be covered while whatever is landing that final blow is also sufficiently protected.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It may be more complicated than that, Wilhelm. And this is all I will say. We have fought hard to secure the legacy and future for House von Kessel. It is imperative, of course, that Wilhelm commands this from the front. But, as far as I'm concerned, as soon as it appears that the situation is nearing its end, Wilhelm should be evacuated, and whatever cost has to be paid to destroy that thing there's no cost too high, beyond so long as Wilhelm is protected.
Send the dragons.
I agree. And I think we're all going in understanding that we're here, give our lives for the future.
If the lives of the dragons... I mean... don't let the dragons hear this. But
I mean, one of them mechanical, so...
I would sacrifice them sooner than any of us.
Yes.
And I would easily sacrifice Nexus Prime.
Yeah, Argonaut's already on his second round, so...
He's
Don't let him hear
he's
that.
working overtime.
Eldrick simply says, it all depends on what kind of creatures and monsters you encounter there.
Mm-hmm.
If there are other creatures that are assaulting, that would be protecting the Delirium Heart, my only worry is that leaving one of the dragons alone to take the final blow, undefended, would be a risk. The assembled individuals, and Elias says, you will need to use your judgment in the moment to decide what must be done. Ultimately, whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes.
Now, I will go make the preparations with the rest of the soldiers. I suggest that the rest of you take the time that you need with the ones that you love. We'll be ready to launch this operation whenever you're ready.
Well, before we go in, we should probably all have one last meal. We should probably have a meal together at some point. Heroes feast, maybe.
Would be nice.
Yeah.
So regardless, we're doing this.
Might be it.
I'm gonna go see my family.
That's a good idea.
Pluto Veo.
Can you send me to see my family?
Oh yeah. I'm sure we can arrange that.
We can... Absolutely. There's no reason for any of this to happen tomorrow.
We got a few days.
Yes. If you would like, Eldrick and River say, Rudy, we're more than happy to use the teleportation network of the Academy if you would like to go visit your family. Pluto, if you would like to head back to Caspia, we can make those arrangements.
Thank you kindly for that. I haven't seen them in a while. I should see what they're up to.
I think I should spend some time at home.
All that I'm gonna ask, Pluto, let me know when you're back. I'd like to, I don't know, if you guys want to meet me at the clock tower.
As I said, we'll need a few days to conduct the preparations with the soldiers. So I suggest that all of you take the time that you need.
Yeah.
To make sure that you're ready for what might be coming.
I'll see you guys in a few days then. I'm gonna go... I got people I need to talk to.
Gotta convince my dad not to do homework over the next few days. Maybe have a weekend for once.
Yeah.
Okay. The preparations underway. Who shall we begin with? You've got... Again, I leave it up to you. It's not like this has to happen the night before, but what things would we can take turns and say, your characters have a couple days of downtime to settle any final affairs that you want to wrap up. Who wants to begin?
Should we start with Wilhelm?
Yeah.
Sure.
First things first, I work with Johan, and I write a will.
Okay.
Smart.
Told you I didn't want my dad doing homework.
Yeah, well, I need him. He's the will writer. Listen, after this, he's off. He's off for a few days. This is the first thing Wilhelm does. He goes and he writes his will, and then he's like, you're off for a few
And
days.
then he deserves a vacation.
What? I don't know how to word a will, but the gist of it is...
He can write the most
Yeah.
of it. The most important thing, Your Majesty, is that you name an heir.
George.
Very well.
My nephew?
I promised.
That's so
Hey, what are you doing here? You're not allowed in the will writing room.
We're all just here being like,
It's
so
a
who are you
loot.
naming your heir?
So who gets your house? I get the castle.
Can I have your eye patch?
I
Give
leave
me
my
some.
I
A
leave
spy
my eye
master.
patch to Veo.
I have made arrangements,
Yeah.
Your Majesty. I understand that there were some incidents back in Castleholm. But working with the Lieutenant Commander, we have made arrangements to establish a residence for George in Castleholm.
Okay.
Well, things are going to be dangerous here for a while, and it is not appropriate for George to stay here, especially if he is your heir.
If I make it through this, I will also be ruling from Castleholm. Can we also put a thing in the will for like a potential if I get married?
Certainly, I will carve out any provisions, and I will, for now, of course, you are unmarried and you have no children.
Yeah.
But if you wish, I can carve out a provision that should you have children, they will inherit rather than George.
Not rather than George. I made a promise that George would inherit. He's technically being adopted as my firstborn.
Okay, very well.
But if I do have kids, then they fall in succession after.
Very good.
Thanks. Wilhelm's other order of business is he asks to see Verona von Baden.
Yeah. Verona has established herself in, I would say she probably does not stay at Camp Dawn herself, befitting a noble. I think that she's probably established herself at a repaired manor somewhere nearby. But if you send for her, you can go see her.
Yeah, so I go visit her at the manor.
Yeah. She is, as you go visit her, she is making preparations with her soldiers. She's not planning on being on the front lines of this. But she lights up when you arrive, and she says, I thought you would be too busy getting ready for war to come see me.
It's been a very busy few days, Verona. But in prepping and planning for the final march on Drakkenheim, I just wanted to carve out some time to spend with you.
Oh, that means a lot.
Do you have a few hours to spare?
For you, of course.
And I ask her if we can go for a walk. And it's not the nicest walk, because although I would like a nice walk with flowers and trees, it's like everything's dead.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty gloomy walk, but it's the best we have. And
She says, that was quite the duel with your cousin.
I was impressed with myself. I mean, it's been a while. I'm a little rusty on my duels, but that was...
I thought that maybe you and I could spar sometime, or that you would want to have a fight with my dad, but I don't think they'd be able to keep up with you.
I mean, I'm sure we can set aside some fencing practice here and there, and we can spar many, many times if everything goes well in the next few days.
Yeah. You know, have you ever been sailing?
Yes, I went sailing with my father when I was younger. I actually...
No, but like, on the seas.
No, only in the small lakes.
I know you've had a lot of adventures in your life, but there is nothing like the ocean. Really, truly.
Would you take me?
Well, can you? You're gonna be king. I mean, to be perfectly honest, it feels like you've just seen this little pocket of this huge, wide world out there. Like, how many years did you live in that barn?
A lot. I would very much like to see the world, and My hope, Verona, is that once this is all done, obviously I will have my kingly duties, but I do believe kings are allowed to travel. They're allowed some semblance of a vacation from time to time. We can make it into a political traveling. And also, I mean, it is every king's right to go sailing with their queen.
She gives you a puzzled look.
What I'm trying to say is, it would be advantageous. It would be a strong political move to unite. Verona, I would like, if I make it through this, for you and I to wed. Perhaps. Possibly. Maybe. I get down on one knee. Awkwardly.
She takes your hands and she says, "That would be quite the voyage. I don't think I can turn it down. Yes."
And then perhaps we can go sailing.
Yeah.
Very-
Maybe instead we'll settle for a tussle in our own ocean. And she smiles and will fade to black at that.
Ooh.
I really
She
thought you
beats
were
you
going to
up.
go in for a handshake there at the end.
Yeah, you make it super formal.
Deal.
Just sign this piece of paper and...
Johan appears behind a pillar. He has the prenup. Sign here, sign here, sign here.
Whew. All right. That's
What ring?
Wilhelm.
What ring did you?
I found one.
You found?
No, it was like a Von Kessel ring.
You know, strictly speaking, the notion of wedding rings is a very modern, like a modern real world North American, like maybe not less North American, but the notion of a wedding ring is kind of like
Do you give her any token, or
Like-
is it just
like, technically,
we should get
Just
married
like
for
post
political
marriage?
reasons? Did you give
Or
her
is it-
anything?
yeah,
Like maybe like even like a handkerchief?
yeah. I feel like in
What am I seeing?
Chocolate.
I feel actually in
Here's a goat.
No, actually, I
She
think
got
that
dowry.
I think that actually the expectation would be that you would buy your father a boat.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to like the Von Badens. Their kind of expectation is that a potential.
I bring out a catalog and I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
thinking this one.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah.
Fade back in. They're laying in bed and looking at a catalog, fully dressed, and just like, yes, this is a very good boat. I might buy it for your father.
How
And
many decks
To
did that
propose
boat
with the
have?
model and be like, but in real life.
yes,
The big
Yeah.
one.
it would be much bigger than this, but this is what I provide.
What would you name the boat? The gifted boat.
Bodie McBoatface.
What's her name? What's her name again?
Verona Von Baden.
The Verona.
Can I just call it the Verona?
I think the Verona's beautiful.
Yeah, the boat is the Verona.
That's so nice.
Okay.
I scratch out Bodie McBoatface and write Verona.
You've actually wrote Bodie McBoatface, but in a bunch of different ways, like 30 times, and then you write the Verona.
And then beside it, you see us all carving our names. Be like, isn't this like the inn? Are
The
we writing
Pluto.
names?
That's not as special.
This means we won't die, right? Because we write our names.
Very
on the
romantic.
boat.
Well, moving along.
Bought you a boat, baby.
Yeah, and you know, I would say that she does give you the stipulation that, you know, she's never imagined herself as a person that would be. She is one of those people who, you know, it's like wed to the sea is a very big part of herself.
Well,
Hard
So
on.
so but
I do think that we're a king and queen who aren't like just going to sit in our castle all day. Like Wilhelm's a man of action, Verona is a woman of action.
And I think she has a long conversation with you over the days that if that's what the two of you are going to do, she's like very much like, this is not going to be like your aunt, right?
Oh no, I don't want it to be like that. I also don't want to do what Pluto does and take 2-year vacations from each other without so much as a letter.
It's a work trip.
But
yeah, it's a work trip. Strictly business.
We both have our own lives and our own passions. You are still going to be part of, the core of Westamar, and I'm going to be king of Westamar. We're going to have to travel. We're going to have to do our own things. But as long as we also travel together from time to time and do spend time looking over matters.
It's a grand vision of your future.
Here's my vision board.
Yeah. With that, why don't we move on to Rudy?
Yeah, so, Rudy's gonna work at the academy to get her to hop around and see her family.
Eldrick says, I've sent some sending spells and made some messages, and I've made arrangements for you and your family to have a reunion in Tierhaven.
All together?
Yes.
Oh. Wait a second. Is it that time of year for the duck feast? Oh, all right.
When you're ready, I've already made the arrangements for your children, grandchildren, and husband to travel back. They've been kept safe. And we have also arranged for some guards as well. And so with that, Eldrick teleports you to Tierhaven and says, I will return in a day or two to bring you back.
All right. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that.
Have a good time with your family.
I will. Where in Tierhaven does he teleport to?
To the front of your house.
Oh.
Which last time it had been ransacked.
Oh.
But it seems like the academy has cleaned a few things up for you. And there is a shield guardian posted out the front door to act as a guard. And as you appear with a crack, the front door bursts open, and your children and grandchildren and husband come bursting out, screaming with joy to see you.
And I give them all bear hugs, wolf hugs?
Wolf hugs.
All the different kind of animal hugs that I can give them as I'm going through. And I start with, giving my kids a few hugs. And then I see my grandkids and I start getting in their face, being like, all right, you ready to show me what you've been doing at the academy?
Yeah. And even Corbin and Ayla have returned from their own adventures to be here.
Yeah. Okay. Oh.
Everybody under one roof.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've done this.
Yeah. And obviously, Abby, your husband is thrilled to see you. And he looks more worse for the wear of the worrying than you. And he's like, well, Rudy, I've heard of all the things that happen, and I'm just glad that your head is still on your shoulders.
Oh, no one's gotten close to taking my head off my shoulders. You should know that about me.
I know. It's just, a man's allowed to worry.
Of course, but I'm glad you know that I come home.
It's been quite a lot. Some of the young ones want to show you their magic.
Let's see where they've gotten to, and if I have to give them a few lessons before I head back.
Most of them can just, they show off, how they can make they're kind of in the phase with prestidigitation, where they like prestidigitating images of butts and fart smells.
Mm-hmm.
Nice,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, they...
All right, so Duke, this is how you take this one step further, is you do that, but you have to do it when you're behind someone and going through, and then you gotta really play it up like they're the one that made the smell. All right, go ahead, try it with your grandpa.
Like when he sits down on the chair.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Okay. How good.
good.
You know you gotta go to that house and do that.
They also like using Mage Hand to move chairs as people are sitting down on them.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Now let me tell
And
you
they just
something.
think they're the cleverest. Yeah.
So such a mischievous
Like someone's in
magical
the
house.
kitchen and they're like going to grab like the spatula, but one of the kids has moved it to the other side. And they go to like they don't know where things are.
Then
Hide the
I
keys.
tell them like, one day if you're lucky enough, my friend Vale will show you how to do it, but invisible. So yeah, it's all tricks and gags and fun and I think as we get through and have meals together and check in on my kids, I think kind of coming to the evening or one of the nights where things are starting to settle down, with Abby, we usually have these chairs in the front of the house and we just sit down and kind of watch the kids play. And I go, Abby, I found something great on my journey and I wanted to share it with you before I had it myself. I found some tea.
Some tea. Now, is this specialty?
Of course, it's specialty.
Is it your specialty?
Ever tree tea.
Oh my.
Not everyone gets this, but I got to take some, and I figured, well, I'll share it with you. Shall we have a cup?
Pour it.
All right.
I'll get a kettle on.
So we sit in our chairs, watching our kids, drinking Evertree tea. And that's how we hang out.
I'm proud of you, Rudy.
Thank you.
I know people talk about how scary you are. And they're like, that's your wife? And I say, well, I ain't scared of her.
There ain't nothing to be scared of if you stay on my good side.
Yeah, indeed.
I'm proud of us. We made an amazing family. We've raised some great kids and can't wait to see. I hope they do great things.
You're coming home after all this, right?
I hope so. Every time I go away, there's no guarantee, and you know that. I do my best to do what I can to protect this place for all y'all.
I know that whatever you do, you're doing it because there ain't gonna be a world for our grandkids unless you do it.
Exactly. That's the only reason I do it. Because if not, why would I spend time away from y'all?
Yeah. Still, I worry about you, and our kids are growing up, and they're raising their own grandkids, and they're gonna be okay.
I know it.
I don't know about me, but
We taught him well enough that no matter what, you'll be taken care of. You're a strong man. And all we can do this time that we have is enjoy the time we have with him, regardless of what's happening. Because you never know what can happen at any time.
I'm strong, but I ain't as strong as you, darling. Not by a long shot. But this tea.
Now that's strong stuff.
Yeah. Now, how does it do with a little bit of something extra?
Oh.
Because I've been saving something.
What do you got?
I I guess like, what would be Rudy's favorite?
Good question.
Like to spice up some tea.
Yeah, like what's a common?
Like a maple bourbon or something. Like
Well, I was thinking like cinnamon
Cinnamon.
bourbon or cinnamon.
Yeah.
And those both sound like they would go good in tea, yeah.
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 Give it a little kick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He produces the bottle, warms up the tea, brews it up, and says, "Just for you, hon."
Thank you.
Well, wasn't expecting this, but I'm glad we all got to come home as a family for a couple days. It's been good.
It's been too long, and hopefully it won't be too much longer before we can do it again.
That's right. When all this is done, what are you gonna say? Are you gonna keep in it till the bitter end, or you think we're all gonna come home?
After this, well, I'm hoping second chance at retirement might be nice. But
Cheers to that.
you know me, even if I come home, I'll be sheriff. So the work's never done.
Baroness.
Sheriff. I don't know. I can't just sit at home doing nothing. So even when I come home, who knows what I'll be doing?
Well, whatever you choose to do, to that.
Cheers. Hot stuff.
Pluto.
Pluto's gonna go home. Home. Across the ocean home.
All right. Well, similarly, some accommodations are made, and River is able to transport you back to Jackson's Keep,
Thank you, River.
where the skeletal remains of the Duchess have been prominently displayed in the Great Hall, amongst other trophies. The skull of Big Linda as well has been moved here. And the bedecked halls of Jackson Keep, new banners have been sewn, and murals and there's artists that are painting exaggerated images of the exploits of Pluto Jackson.
Accurate. You mean accurate.
And so
Large mobs.
as you come home, there's already statues being carved by some of the finest artists from Liberio, depicting all like Pluto holding Ignatius aloft. It's got like an integrated torch into the sword, so it illuminates the hallways. And House Jackson is resplendent with the glory of Pluto Jackson.
Is there one where like the matriarch is like accepting the humble sword as I like bestow it upon?
Yes.
Like there's even ones where it's
Yes.
like
There's a mural of like
Yeah,
Pluto Jackson and Saint Tarna hanging out, like the show of faith, the duel against the High Paladin. All of these scenes are being illustrated in this massive hall with all the
I
pictures in
imagine
it.
there's like a 30 to 40 foot long tapestry of like my lifetime so far.
Yeah,
Still
yeah, stained glass windows, statues. Yeah.
And I go to see my wife, and we fade to black like 9 times.
Okay.
Yeah, it's great.
There's also a great monument to you. So, yes, your sister Eris, George's mother, and your wife Rosa have been running the household. Also erecting memorials to Saul, the late
Yes.
Saul.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's that's what I think Pluto sort of hangs on to. As he visits home, as he sort of reflects on everything he's done, these immaculate sculptures, these great quests that he's been on, these unattainable treasures that he has now obtained. You know, he sort of thinks like, really about that moment where he was with his father in his room as his father passed away, surrounded by friends and family. He sort of thinks about what his legacy is. And, he's very much been defined by this idea of conquering these great monsters. But as he sort of looks at these great trophies, he thinks, like, is there much bigger monsters to conquer? And so it's during this time he sort of reflects and thinks this could be that one last hurrah, once more into the deep, and then find himself enjoying maybe that more royal life, a bit more time spent on the throne back at home, surrounded by his people, beginning his family.
Rosa says to you, Pluto, I am so impressed by what you have accomplished. And I suppose my only hope is that you have spent so much time on your adventures that you deserve to rule for a change and be back here. Look at the glories that you've won for our house and for our future.
And I hope you understand that it was never to get away from you. Every day I miss you.
Aw.
I truly do this for my father. I did it for him. I did it for the glory of our house, and I was doing it for myself. But now, looking back and seeing what I've done, it would be nice to hang up the sword for a little while and plant some roots amongst those who understand me the best.
I think that sounds fantastic.
Fade to black 17 more times, and then I'll give River a call, a send when I'm before we meet up.
Okay, let's move over to Veo.
I mean, Veo, I feel like, is already amongst the people that she spends most of her time with, so she wants to spend her time helping her dad.
All right.
So she's like in the old days when she used to kind of follow him around the castle and help him
He's
out.
spending a lot of his time. He's made an impromptu office in the garrison now, and this is the place that you know well too, and so he's there. Eric is at the estate, but he spends a lot of time catching up, and he says to you, there is so much to be done still, Veo. It's strange. In all the time that I was trapped in Castle Draken, I just wanted to be free, so that I just wanted the opportunity to see you one more time. And it's strange, because I told myself that if I was ever freed, I would appreciate every moment, and I would never let you out of my sight again. But you've become your own woman now, and you're going off and you're doing things that are incredible that I can't. You're not a child that needs to be protected or shielded from the world anymore, and I don't think that I could.
I mean, it was always my dream to go places and do things and experience the world. But I know now that it's not just about what I want.
But, Veo, you hung to this city, Drakkenheim, waiting for me. This city has been your whole life. And even recently you've had travels away from it, but I think that you should find your own place in the world and see. I know you were so loyal to your friends and to our king, but I do think that, what parts of the world could you see? Where would you go?
I mean, definitely back to Liberia. That's just amazing. The food there. That's it. I'd wanna travel with merchants. I'd wanna see where things go and what can I experience and who can I help.
I haven't been to Liberia since I was a young man. That would be lovely.
They have this thing called gelato.
Really?
It's like frozen ice flavor thing.
Do they have to use magic to make that?
I don't know. I never asked questions. I just shoved it in my mouth. And it was delicious. But I should ask the questions. Maybe I should go and bring these amazing things back here once it's a place worth having these things.
It would be very nice to see life come back to this city before life leaves me. That would be very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But regardless of that, I think that we should plan a trip to Liberia.
Yeah.
I'm sure the king will give us some time off.
Of course. Yeah. I mean, again, I think we're owed it a little bit, but it just can't be before the crater's done. But once the crater, I think things can manage without us for a little bit. But I want to take you to get some gelato.
I'd love that.
Mm.
Anything else Vale wants to do?
I want to have dinner with my dad, but then I want to have second dinner over at the crow's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, as you head to visit the crows, maybe we should find out what Sebastian's up to.
He's at the crow's house. He has arrived there, and
You're heading to Emberwood Village?
Emberwood Village.
Okay, Sebastian. As you head into Emberwood Village, you pass through Caravan Court on your way to the Crow House. And there in Caravan Court is Blackjack Mel.
I'm like walking by and I do like a double take and then I just stop and like squint at him. Mel?
Hey! How's it going? Yeah!
You're still here?
Well... Kind of looks, he's like... I had a bit of business to settle up before I skipped town, you know?
Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
You okay?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna be fine.
Staying out of trouble?
You know, it's not the first time my employer's fallen short of, being alive anymore, so I'll land on my feet.
I want you to know 2 things, Blackjack Mel. Number 1, it was oddly a pleasure knowing you.
That's what everybody says!
And number
You're not about to kill me, are you?
Number 2, if you cause any mischief around me, I will blow you up.
You know, it's really funny. That's also what people say to me.
Then hey!
Oh, some variation of I'll stab you, I'll run you through, I'll slit your throat, cut your eyelids off. Things like that.
Yep.
But that actually reminds me. The Queen had something that I was supposed to give you if in the event that she was ever,
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's not a knife to the gut, is it?
No! I mean, that's what I would have expected, but no.
Okay. Do you have it?
Yeah. He pulls out a bag of holding and he starts rummaging around in it. Here it is. I don't know if they're... And he pulls out, it's roughly triangular shaped, and it's wrapped in paper and twine. It's kind of like, at first you're like, is it a bouquet of flowers that's been wrapped up?
You stay right there, because if this thing blows up, we're both going down.
It's a bomb?
I don't know.
Well, that would be just like her.
Yeah, well, see, the thing is...
I want to get out of here. I don't want to get blown
You're
up.
staying right there, and you're watching me open this. Because if you gave me a bomb, we'll blow up, I'll come back in a few days, you won't. And I rip it open.
Oh.
It is in a bouquet of dead flowers. There is a skeletal hand holding 5 playing cards.
I thought this would be more symbolic to me, but I don't know what this is. I'm going to take the 5 playing cards and look at the hand.
It's a royal flush.
What does that mean?
Think about it. I have no idea. I have no idea.
Is the Queen of... What was she? The Queen of Diamonds?
Yeah, it's the diamond suit.
Blackjack Mel, what does this mean?
I don't know. Do I look like a poet?
Thanks.
Can I go?
Yeah. See you around, Mel.
See you around.
I'm gonna put the cards in my pocket.
Is it a human hand?
Yeah.
Sebastian Blackjack Mel walks away, and Sebastian literally stands for like 5 minutes. Just like trying to figure out what this means. And then he's just like, all right. And he puts it in his pocket and he heads over to his house.
Okay.
Are you there or no? Probably not yet.
Yeah, so Vale will show up a little bit later.
Yeah. Okay, so I arrive at my house and I burst through the door.
And you smell the wonderful cabbage, turnip, and beef stew Moira Crow is making.
Oh, it smells delicious in here.
Aye, it does. Good to see you, my boy.
Dad, do you play cards?
Occasionally I'll go down to the pub to try something. Why?
Royal flush, diamonds. This is hard. Does this mean anything other than being a hand in cards?
I mean, it's a pretty unbeatable hand if you got it in a game.
I mean, yeah, it's a good hand. It's a good hand, which is already concerning. Somebody gave this to me as a like a warning or a sign.
I don't know.
All right.
Maybe it's wishing you good luck,
Maybe.
right? It's like they gave you a winning hand.
Or they played a winning hand.
Beats me.
Well,
I've never been one to figure out these kind of riddles. That's all magic stuff that your mom does.
wait, I am proficient in playing cards.
Are you proficient in riddles?
No, but I
Oh,
am
yeah.
proficient in playing cards. Is there any information that I might know by being proficient in playing cards?
You know the quality of the playing cards. These are.
These are great playing cards.
It's a custom set. Like it's a set like the queen card is the Queen's Men symbol,
Yeah.
right? But
Okay. Wait. No, that's Spades that has the Suicide King, right?
You're
That's not-
thinking of the knife.
Yeah, there's the one king with the knife in his head, which has been used as like a symbol in some things. But I don't think that's diamonds. I think that's spades.
it's usually I believe it's usually the king of hearts.
Okay.
That is the Suicide King.
Okay.
Yeah.
So this isn't a threat on Wilhelm. Anyway, Dad, forget about that.
All right.
It's good to see you. How's the family?
Well, business has been pretty bad.
Yeah. But, I mean,
I've had some work for the Hooded Lanterns, of course, but they don't like to be paid the same as adventurers will pay for premium things. But
I
it's
mean,
been
with all
fine.
the armies here, you haven't been sharpening swords or...
Oh, there's been lots of work there, but there's they brought their own blacksmiths and their own people as well. And so I used to do a lot of business just for adventurers and freelancers. So that's kind of dried up, but the military work's picked up, so it's kind of balanced out.
Well, good. If you need any help, I can put up flyers or something.
Me and Peter have been doing our best. We've thought about just... they've invited us a couple times to come work at Camp Dawn, but I don't want to leave my forge. I don't want to leave my home here.
It's pretty dreary over there. Very muddy. Not the nicest. Well...
That's been the big problem, is that all the work now is over there, not here.
Right.
And so that's kind of been the hard thing. And I've thought a couple times, well, I would see you more often if I worked over at Camp Dawn, and but
Yeah. I'm
then
sorry.
I'd have to travel there every day, and yeah,
It's been really busy the last little while. Sorry I haven't been over more.
it's all
I
right.
keep meaning to.
How's your mom?
Interesting. It's, she's a dragon, sometimes. She lives in a unknowable place. And, she made me this outfit, though.
Looked sharp.
Yeah, it's kind of my colors. It's basically similar to what I was wearing before, but a little nicer. It's magic. She's been teaching me some things, and I've been learning what I can. I wanted to come by and have dinner with you guys. It's gonna get crazy over the next few days, and I mean, like, I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. We're gonna march into Drakkenheim and try to blow up a bunch of delirium, and could go really bad. I have no idea. So, I just want to be blunt about that. You're pretty close to Drakkenheim. I don't know. Just if you see a bunch of really bad stuff happening, just be ready to vacate. I hope it doesn't come to that. I'm not saying
Okay.
I'm not saying, oh my god, we're gonna... All I'm saying, Dad, is be aware, and I just want you to be safe. I want you and the family to be safe, no matter what happens. Just promise me you'll take care of the family, and you will be safe.
Sure thing.
Don't worry about it, though.
Oh, okay. But you're gonna be okay.
Nothing can happen to me, I think. I'll be okay.
Well, come in, have some soup. See your brother and sister. Veo's supposed to come by and join us too.
Oh. You, walk out of the kitchen.
Yep, I'm here.
Oh, hey, Vale. I need to tell you something. But first, I'm gonna go talk to my brother and sister.
I'll be in the kitchen.
All right. Good to see you. Thanks for coming by. I go see... It's Peter, right?
Yeah.
So, Sebastian got his, Gem of Seeing goggles, which replace his old goggles. And he goes and sees Peter, and he's like, hey, bud.
Hey.
How's work on the forge?
Pretty good, pretty good. Dad says that I'm doing even better than he was at his age, so...
It's great.
Yeah.
I did way worse, so...
Well, you did other things.
I guess other talents. I'm gonna be going away for a little bit. I know that we don't see each other that often, but... and I know you probably already have your own pair of these, and I pull out the old goggles, and I'm like, just wanted you to have these.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, they don't make them like they used to. Those have seen me through a lot of dangerous times.
Yeah, all right. Mine are kind of getting worn out. He straps them on.
Oh, they're also worn out, but
Oh, makes me feel like I'm a mage or something.
yeah. Just wanted you to have that.
Thanks. He gives you a hug.
I give him a hug, and I take care of the family. If in the times that I'm gone, you know. It's
Hey, you know, that's been Dad and my mom, and you know, we're doing all right. We do all right. Didn't really think you were in the picture much before this to begin with, so
that's fair.
you know, it's only been in the past year or so that you've shown back up again. So it's nice to have around. Means a lot to the old man.
Yeah, I figured. I owed him a few visits. You know, things were rough for a while there, but it's nice to know I have family. And thanks for being welcoming to me.
Yeah.
We're gonna go see your sister.
All right,
I'm gonna go,
Emma and
Emma.
Sybil.
Emma and Sybil?
Yeah.
Oh boy, there's two of them? I don't have that many gifts. Okay, I go to Emma. Emma's the one that gives the tours,
Yes.
right? She's a little
Yeah.
mischievous. So, so I go to Emma, and I'm like, hey Emma, I got something for you. You're not allowed to tell anybody.
So
Do you like magic?
yeah, but I'm not magical.
Well, I got a little something that might help out with that. It's but you can't tell anybody, and you can't be irresponsible with this. Sebastian says this knowing full well she's going to do whatever she wants. And he pulls out his deck of illusions. This is a deck of cards. And he like finds like the most mundane one, like the goblin or something. He's like, check this out. He throws it down and like the illusion of the goblin pops up.
At this, she squeals with delight, takes the deck of cards, and runs down the hall, immediately thinking of ways that she's going to prank her other siblings.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Well, that was short, but sweet. Enjoy it.
I'll try them.
Yeah,
And how old is Sybil?
very young, like maybe 6.
I don't really know if I should give her a magic wand or something. Probably not.
You have all those potions you found.
I do have like a bunch of soda yums.
I mean, that's like candy.
A vial of black goo.
No, not something
No,
to
no,
get a 6-year-old.
no,
No.
I
Needs a warning label on it.
She can only use a wand if she's actually a spellcaster.
Okay, so I go and I take out my old like white gnarled wand, the one that I started this whole adventure with. And I'm just like, hey Sybil, I don't need this anymore. I wanted you to have it.
Her eyes light up, and as she takes the wand from you, you see a glimmer of octarine light just in one of her eyes.
Uh-oh.
And as she dances away, prancing with the wand, like waving it around.
I then go to Moira, and I go, Moira, hey, how's it going?
Things are good, Sebastian.
Thanks for being so accepting of me. I really
You're part of the
appreciate it.
family.
Thank you.
Aww.
And so are you. I mean, that kind of goes without saying. But, listen, I just gave Sybil a wand. You might want to, like, make sure she doesn't use it.
If you're gonna give my children magical toys to play with and expect them not to play with them, they're your siblings too.
I'm just saying, if Sybil shouldn't be able to use the wand, if she shows that she does, you may want to confiscate it until she is ready to use it.
I'm gonna try not to think about that, Sebastian, but thank you.
Soup's great, by the way.
Thank you.
Oh,
It's very good.
You spend the evening with your family, having soup and food and bread, and with Veo.
All I do is eat soup the whole time.
yeah.
I like how you
but
give
it's-
your siblings like weapons, and then you're
Yeah.
like,
They're
you're like,
gifts.
you're like, Now it's your fault. Now you have to watch.
No. I gave her the wand, and then immediately when I saw the glimmer of Octarine in her eyes, I was like, uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
But it was like too late for me to be like, no, give it back. Give it back. Like I gave it to her, and I was like, wait, can you
Is it
use
like
that?
the wand of fear?
Yeah, it is the wand of fear. I gave her the wand of fear. It's not. I didn't know she had magic.
You were instantly afraid of her. She's obviously magic.
Oh my god.
She cast fear on you.
Oh no. But yeah, it's just a warm, like, comfortable. I try not to talk too much about what we have to do.
Mm-hmm.
I gave my dad the warning, but other than that, I don't bring it up. I don't talk about it. I don't even talk about my adventures. I ask them how they're doing, and I want to hear their stories. And I just want one dinner where I don't feel like one of the most powerful mageborn in the world, where I just feel like a crow.
Yeah. And that's your evening. Okay. Well, I suppose finally we come to Wrath.
Wrath. He sort of retreats to his study. His tent.
Mm-hmm.
Alone. Thinking about the upcoming events. Thinks about going deep into the crater. He's never seen the Delirium Heart. He thinks about all that Bruce has asked of him and how he is. He's achieved so much. He's achieved so much for Bruce and to push forward his mission. And so he reflects on the proximity. We will go to the heart of the crater. I will take you, and I will be there.
Yes. I am hungry.
What do you wish to eat?
Rats.
There are many rats in Drakkenheim. But I feel like they wouldn't satiate you. I feel like the rats...
They are but morsels.
Yeah.
Snacks. I am hungry for something more. Something fatter.
Okay. What would you... You want something bigger.
Much bigger.
Is this a meal you've had before?
It is a meal I have long desired for centuries, millennia, eons across untold space and time. A meal that has eluded me for too long, and yet now I lick my chops to think of how close I am to it.
And you wish for this meal. I will deliver this meal to you.
Yes, but in the meantime, I think you should bring me a snack.
Something...
Now.
Oh. You want something to eat right now, Bruce?
Yes.
Okay.
Something fresh. I smell them. They're close.
Them?
Yes.
These tremors. Are they my mother's doing?
I know not. But I'm curious. Aren't you?
She played with them. The
She did.
rats. In the mazes.
And where else are there mazes?
The sewers. Sewers of the city.
Is there a snack waiting for me?
I abruptly leave the tent and head towards the city walls.
Okay. As you leave, you run into River. Hey. Are you alright?
Just getting some fresh air.
Okay. Things are happening really fast. It's gonna get really scary. You're going into that crater, right?
Yep,
Okay.
I have to. They need me. I don't think they can do it without me.
Well, I think between you and Sebastian, I think they got it covered. I never thought you'd amount to this much.
You know, I always looked up to you.
Hmm.
And now I look down upon you. No.
I mean, I always
No.
felt sorry for you.
Nope.
But whatever magic you've learned from that cat, it comes just as much from you as it does from them. Don't forget that.
I did have to earn it. Through my loyalty. And my dedication. Just like,
You're pretty dedicated to this thing.
yeah, just like many of the wizards I saw growing up. The way they fell into their studies. The way they scribbled notes in their pages. The way they practiced and listened. The way they shunned aside other earthly desires for the needs of more. That is the same path I took.
There have been some powerful warlocks in the academy, but it's always been a danger that, well, I know you're loyal to Bruce. I just hope he never asks you to do something terrible.
I think I think that he wants something that will be a great benefit for all of us. Being inside that temple to Bruce and having a chance to free him from whatever put him there. He and the others, they were the first to care for us, for the people of this earth. And I think that he doesn't deal with good and bad. I think his instincts are much more natural.
Okay. Well, enjoy the night. It's going to be a big day tomorrow. Everyone's going to be assembled right away, first thing in the morning, to go into the crater, so whatever you need tonight.
Did I tell River about seeing Mom? Seeing her mom?
If you want to, you can now.
I did see Mom.
Did you tell her about what you did to Alabaster?
No, I tell her, and I'm gloating about it. I broke all his stuff.
Mom and Dad are bad news. But I don't think that they want to hurt anybody. They just have a different idea about what the Academy's place should be. And who should be in charge of things. I don't know what Dad was up to. I know that he was in charge of a lot of projects. He built a lot of those constructs. He built apparently he built ships too. And I have no idea where they are. And I know that we've got Nexus Prime, but like everything that he made would have been a big help to what you're doing right now. So, I don't know. They're holding something back.
The Academy?
No, Mom and Dad.
You know,
And I think that we're just lucky that you did what you did to Dad, because I think that scared them. That showed that you can strike back. And I think that he's probably got his tail between his legs because he won't set foot outside his front door without knowing that he's got an army of clones of himself in case anything happens. So whatever he's going to do and whatever Mom's going to do, they're going to do it from a distance. So just be ready.
you know, I've always appreciated the way you talk to me. I don't think I ever received the same from Mom or Dad. And I think Bruce took their place. But beyond that, you are. Besides those weird birds, you're like my family. My only family. So, thank you.
Thanks, Wrath. She gives you a hug.
I
Listen, I've got to teleport. I've got to go to teleport Rudy back. So I'll see you in the morning.
yeah, I'm gonna go to the sewers.
What?
Yeah, see you later.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find like a big old rat, like something.
Okay.
I'm gonna go try to find one rat. I don't know if that's like a hand wave moment or like I can just go like.
So you go to
I'm gonna go-
Drakkenheim.
I'm gonna go, go into the sewers.
You go into the sewers.
I'm gonna dominate the mind of one of these rats.
Like, are you lucky enough to just find one, or
I mean,
Okay. How are you going? Okay. You're going to go into Drakkenheim.
invisibly.
Oh,
Okay, so you become invisible. You go into the
I
ruins.
sneak into the ruins.
Okay.
I look for a rat's nest.
Okay. You go into the sewers.
Sniffing
All right.
around. We're gonna have a long rest, right, before we leave.
Yeah.
Then I true polymorph into what's something that hunts rats? Snake, a giant snake. Or what's a badger?
Probably invisibility is sufficient for just until
Badger.
until you find what
Yeah,
you.
He wants to be the animal.
Yeah, so primal. I'm gonna.
Okay.
I'm hunting for Bruce.
Okay. You travel into the sewers invisibly. Roll me 2d6.
Yeah, I'm gonna look for this. I roll a 5 and a 2.
Okay. You wander into the sewers
Wander.
and almost immediately get lost and don't know where you're going. You can give me a perception or investigation check.
I cast speak with animals, and I start asking other animals where the rats are.
Oh, you look okay. There are like some other like weirdly semi-mutated rats,
I'm
and
looking for the big one.
one of the
Tell me where the
rats-
big one is, or I'll eat you.
one of the little rats says, "Oh, big siblings. They dug deep, 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 deep,
Deep
deep, 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 deep,
under,
deep, 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 deep,
deeper than here.
deep, 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 deep. They've gone very deep. Special mission for the rat god.
The rat god.
Yes, yes.
How does he talk to you?
Oh, rat god hasn't talked to me yet. I'm just a little rat. But the others."
I true polymorph into a bigger rat, and I want to go find the other rats.
Okay.
I want to go down.
If you wanted to, do you have Mask of Many Faces?
Yeah.
I would allow you to use Disguise Self to be a ratling.
Like a rattling-looking person.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. So you don't have to use your 9th level spell slot. Okay.
I'm just committed. I just want you
All
to
right.
know how committed I am
Oh my god.
Okay.
to finding Bruce a midnight snack.
I will.
A worthy midnight
A worthy.
The little rat says, "I will show you where they're going, where they're digging."
Thank you. Yes.
And he leads you through the sewers for like an hour,
Okay.
past a passage and into a hole. And deep down here,
He's crawling through this hole.
you emerge into a burrow filled with ratlings. There's dozens of them. And many of them have extra digging implements. And they are, as you emerge, one of the ratlings sniffs at you and says, "You smell funny. What's wrong with you?" Did humans send you here?
I cast mass suggestion.
Okay.
And I convince him and a bunch of the other rats that
I need to know what the suggestion is.
I am a mutated rat just like you. I'm your buddy. I'm your pal. Take me to the communication of the rat god.
Yes. The ratlings falling prey to your spell, because I think your DC is like what?
Insane.
Okay, I don't think they can succeed.
Like 22.
Yeah, they can't. They take you and they go.
And I'm now surrounded by like a bunch of rats. And
They take you to a chamber and they say, yes. We will take you to Supreme Seer Squeaks. Yes.
Okay.
She will tell you everything. Yes.
Okay.
And they lead you deep through the tunnels into an audience chamber where there is a great albino ratling seer with red eyes and a pink nose, clad in robes. And she turns, and as you come in, she says, "What are you doing? Why you bring the humans into our lair? What you doing in here? Why you disguised as ratling?"
Dominate monster.
I get a 21.
No.
And tell me everything.
Squeak says,
So dangerous, man.
controlled by your will. Squeak says, you with the other humans? The ones that capture us? The one that catch us? The ones that send us here?
I do not follow humans.
Squeak says, humans, they catches us. They take us deep beneath the sea.
Sounds awful.
We run through mazes.
You escaped.
They tell us we doing it for Rat God, it not for Rat God. It for them.
That's terrible. Tell me more.
We need Rat, but
Have you spoken with the rat god?
yes, but it's no use. We don't have what we need to bring the Rat God here.
Maybe I can help.
You would help? You're not with the other humans? You're not with the ones that make us tunnel? Make us dig?
I do not follow a human.
She makes us. She say that's it for Rat God, but it not for Rat God.
That is awful. Your plight. I share in your plight.
She give us She gives us these boxes. Say we have to bury them deep under city. Take the boxes. Take the boxes down deep, so that they there. For big thing she want to. But we know what the boxes can do. We know what the boxes can do. Boxes can bring Rat God here.
Really?
Yes. But no one's strong enough. No one's strong enough to be vessel for Rat God. Only one that was strong enough is gone. Killed it. Died.
So you need a new vessel.
Yes. It's been too long now. My magic not strong enough to bring him back, to bring back our prince. But if our prince were back, then he would be strong enough. When all the boxes go boom, 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 and all the humans die, it will be enough to bring Rat God here. And then we will have a great feeding. It will be so good. You would help us? Yes.
So you need to bring back the one that leads you.
She reaches into her bag and she pulls out a broken looking crown that has a piece of a tail stuck to it. You bring him back? You brings him back. And then we make the boxes go boom, boom, boom. And then Rat God come. And it all be so good. Will you help, says us? Yes.
I think I can help. I need that crown and the piece of your leader. And with that, I can bring him back.
You would do this? You great hero. You like ghosts come and help before. You just likes them. Help the Rat Prince before, but then betray him. But no, you are good. You are good. Bruce says in your mind, yes. Help them. Let them call their god. And then bring me forth, and I will devour it.
Heavy is the crown. And I reach out my hands to accept this thing, this gift. And I place it in my bag of holding. Is this what you want, Bruce?
Bruce says, these creatures, delicious and delectable, are but an appetizer for the main course. If you would do this for me, you will unleash untold mayhem. But worry not, for in my coming I will devour them all. Certainly, will it cause a moment of chaos? Yes. But to all others you will look like a hero, who have called me forth to cleanse these ratlings from the ruins.
And they'll finally see your true purpose.
Yes. And I will have devoured my ancient enemy.
It's gonna feel so good.
It's gonna taste so good.
As I leave, I'm gonna bring out some of the rats so that Bruce can feed on his midnight snack.
Are you going to do this?
Do I have to do it right now?
The ratlings are looking at you like,
Oh,
yeah,
they want me to do it right now.
yeah.
Holding the crown. Oh, boy. Oh, no.
No.
I
know.
have to cast, using my wish, I can cast, what, like, resurrection?
Yep. That would work.
What level is resurrection?
7th.
I'm so conflicted right now.
Wrath underneath the city in a dirty burrow, looking like a ratling, surrounded by rats, in front of the seer squeaks, is going to use his wish spell to cast resurrection on the crown of the rat prince.
And from the broken stub of a tail, the rat prince's body is regrown. Yes! 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 And that's where we'll end for the night.
Man,
Yes!
we all went out for dinner. And you went into a hole and resurrected our enemy.
Best friend!
You can't leave him alone.
Oh my god.
There he is.
Oh no.
He's gonna get that
Oh god. Oh no, what have you done?
It's gonna be great.
Oh.
I'm gonna save everyone.
Oh yeah, you are. Everybody's so saved, man. Oh, game over, man. Game over.
How long does it take? It's pretty fast, right?
It's an action when you do it with Wish.
So he just
He just
He's there.
reforms.
You just brought back the rat prince who's gonna resurrect the rat god. No biggie. We don't have any other problems to deal with. It's fine.
And then I leave the burrow. I crawl back through the sewer.
The game's over, man.
Wipe off
Maybe you
myself.
don't. Maybe he eats you. Maybe he kills
Jubilant
you.
ratlings rejoicing at the returned leadership of the Rat Prince. They say, the Rat Prince says, "Thank you, yes, yes, yes. Tomorrow is going to be a good day. Yes, yes, yes."
Oh god.
I'm so happy.
And Bruce says,
Man, we should have
Tomorrow.
killed Wrath.
"After you have destroyed the Delirium Heart, bring a piece of it to the cat door, and there call me forth, and it will all be fine."
I understand. I'm gonna help everyone because I'm so helpful.
I love this.
Yeah.
And I'm so mad and excited.
I can even do math.
Perfect. I mean, we just made things. Wrath just made things 10 times harder for us for this end
In our
game.
game tonight, we used all these great assets produced by talented artists.
Yeah, we should close things out. A big thank you to our amazing cast, Jill, Kelly, and Joe. Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Bruce. Thank you.
And thanks to Kyle for all of his work behind the scenes. And knowing something I don't that I need to talk to him about after. Oh, he's rolling his eyes at me. He doesn't have eyes, he's just thumb. I'm kidding. And a big thank you to our Dungeon Master, Monty Knight, for baiting Joe, for dangling bait in front of Joe that he would obviously take.
Oh, yeah.
That's perfect.
Good job.
That was great.
Again, I'm so conflicted right now because I'm not upset at all. But my characters, when they find this out, are very upset.
Everything's gonna be fine.
This is awful for
I gotta
them,
save everyone.
but it's great
I gotta
for
save Drakkenheim.
Drakkenheim. I mean, the show, not the city. The city's doomed. Everybody's gonna die.
Listen, rat prints or no rat prints, there's boxes around.
Yeah, I didn't even ask.
Yeah.
When all the humans are dead because of the boom, 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 you didn't, are they gonna blow up the entire city when all of us are in there?
I don't know. I didn't ask that.
Yeah, you didn't.
I didn't really.
Didn't really consider the implications of the information.
There's an extreme amount of explosives beneath the city. is what I took away from that.
Yeah.
And that they're going to explode them probably when we're in the crater.
Yep.
Well, we should probably kill the crater very quickly, and then I can bring Bruce before they
yeah,
bring him, and then that way
solved.
everything's fine.
Great.
Even before they do it.
Great.
It's gonna be fine.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
Well, if you enjoy our show and want to support the work that we do here, please consider becoming a patron. Our patrons get a ton of amazing perks. You get all of our video content that we put out on YouTube and including this show a week early, ad-free, sponsor-free on Patreon. You can even get more really cool perks like our Eldritch Experiments and extra live streams, actual plays DM'd by Kelly. It's great stuff. So be sure to check it out.
You can also join our exclusive Discord, which is exclusive for our patrons, and you can come hang out with us, chat with us about all things D&D and Drakkenheim. You can talk to us about Joe's decisions in tonight's game and give your thoughts and feelings about how excited you are for the return of everybody's favorite character and the absolute death of everybody else. You can just hang out with us and ask us any questions. So make sure to join our Discord.
Thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you next time in Drakkenheim. Yes, yes, yes.
Bye.